Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? I think so. Welcome to Hope and the Truth. I'm Lance Parvin. As always, we are here to renew your hope and strengthen our faith in the Lord. With me today, the lovely Paula Madina, founder of the Chiari Neurological Project. Now, we're going to get into what that is, but welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today. So
Thank you.
we'll get to the project in a second. Let's give the audience some background of you yourself suffer from Chiari. So for the majority of people, I don't think they understand what that disease is. Could you explain it a little bit?
Chiari is a neurological condition that we were born with. Basically, our skull is too small for our brain. So the back of our cerebellum protrudes into the spinal canal, the tonsils on the cerebellum. Everybody can have a different herniation. Some cannot have a herniation at all, be very symptomatic. There's 5 types, which go from Chiari 0 to Chiari 4. Chiari type 1 is the most common one. A lot of patients have the same symptoms or different symptoms. My symptoms were, I have central and obstructive sleep apnea.
Okay.
I have difficulty swallowing. I have the headaches, the nausea, the dizziness, where my eyes shake. I forget the name of it, what it's called. And central nervous system damage on top of the nerves tingling and limb and numb and
Okay.
all of that good stuff. So
When did you really start noticing symptoms yourself? I mean, I know that you've had this.
when I was 29,
Okay, that's when they really became symptomatic.
I was very symptomatic when I was 29, and I didn't find out until I was 41
Oh, surprise.
that I have it.
Surprise!
Right. I went to 2 different neurologists, and they both basically told me that there was nothing wrong with me. It was all in my head. So when I did find out what was wrong with me, I went back to them and told them it really is all in my head.
Yeah. Literally.
And it was very traumatic for me when I found out what I had, but I've learned to live through it.
Gotcha. Now, what treatment options have you been offered throughout your life? I mean, once you found out what it was, I'm sure, really, how were they treating leading up to the actual diagnosis? How were you being treated?
They were treating me for the symptoms, for anxiety and depression. They
Okay.
said I had panic disorder. They said I had generalized anxiety disorder. And they were putting me on all different types of
Probably antidepressants.
antidepressants, and
SSRIs,
yes, and I was on those for many years, from 2003 to 2010,
Okay.
and then I weaned myself off of them and said that they're
Good
not
for you.
working for me.
Yes.
And then in 2011, I found out I needed to have brain surgery.
Okay.
So my spinal fluid was completely blocked. So by the time they did my brain surgery, I was already having stroke-like symptoms,
Oh, wow.
all on my right side.
Gotcha.
Went in on December 20th of 2011, had my first brain surgery, and then in April 3rd, 2012, I had to have my second one.
Wow.
So how they do the surgery, it just depends on the person. They basically had to open up the foramen magnum,
Okay.
which is the base of your skull, and they took out my C1 and shaved my C2 down and put a lining of a cow's heart on my cerebellum to keep it holding up.
Oh.
Other people,
Yes.
they take out their C1, C2, put in a titanium plate, and put the lining of a cow's heart, or a shunt if their spinal fluid flow
Yeah.
isn't still properly
Yeah.
going the
I think
right
you
way.
kind of need your C1 and C2. I mean, I'm familiar with that. I was in a
Right.
car accident a few years ago, and I know I had angular tearing in C4, C5, and C6. And that's for most of you who don't know, it's at the base of the spine, it's at the top of it. And
Yeah.
that's normally when there's damage to that area, you become a quadriplegic. You can
Right.
no longer move.
Right.
Wow. So after the treatments that you've gone through in the medical industry, how has that changed over the past few years? Because obviously we'll get up to date of how you're doing now.
The past few years, I was on Xanax because my brainstem function has totally changed since I had my brain surgery. And I do a lot of holistic things. I don't let them give me any meds.
I like how you think. What have you found? Now let's fast forward to now. What have you found lately? Alternative treatments that might have changed, and how has it changed for you?
The cannabis, I've been on that for, 6 months now?
What?
And then I was off of it for 3 months,
Okay.
which I should have never went off
That's
because
okay.
all my symptoms came back, which has really helped me. My faith has helped me.
Well, that's the most important. Faith is number one.
Is number one
Is
because
number one.
Jesus is there with me
Always.
all the way. And Just the cannabis and anything natural.
What have you-
Essential oils.
Okay, which are also good.
Which are very good for anxiety. I do the lavender and I do the eucalyptus for my sinuses.
What direct effects did you see from cannabis oil? Meaning, how is it affecting your symptoms? How did it change? And how did you know there was a change? Because obviously you're the best person to ask.
Minimized my symptoms.
Okay.
Headache-wise, neuropathy-wise. I was here in a very bad flare-up,
Yeah.
the last couple of weeks. Restarted it. All my neuropathy pain has gone away.
And that's funny because most people think we were told that neuropathy is impossible. You cannot reverse that. Now, you'll say otherwise because what have you noticed, especially most people with neuropathy is nerve death. So it normally happens in the hands and feet. It's quite common in diabetics and certain treatments. It'll affect everyone on the whole.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen yourself?
My symptoms are completely gone.
Really?
I don't have the aching, the burning, the pain, completely gone. And I noticed that when I touch my ankles that I get that electrical shock. That's like, wow, I didn't know that was there. That it was gone besides my restless legs, and now it's completely back.
Oh, praise the Lord. Some that are going to tell someone. Are you kidding me? So
Yes.
with the recovery that you've been having, and this is very admirable, you set out to set up a new project, which is fantastic, and she's working with our organization. We're working together because a lot of people aren't familiar with Chiari as a whole. So why did you want to start the Chiari? And you've been actually doing stuff throughout your life and just kind of like, oh, I just thought that was normal. What is the Chiari Neurological Program to you? What is the project, the purpose of it?
It's to bring awareness for Chiari. A lot of people don't know, including doctors, don't know what Chiari is.
They've used you as a consultant, correct?
Right. I have my primary and my neurologist as an advocate for any patients that come in because I've been through it and I know how to go through it, and it's very struggling. But like I tell my doctors, you have to have God first, your faith, your family, and then your friends. And they're like amazed on how strong I am. So my calling is to be out there to help other patients with Chiari, not only Chiari, but other neurological symptoms, neurological disorders that play a role with, with Chiari, like different things that I can go out there and help and be a person for them to offer any kind of therapeutic therapies, resources with the patients and the families, because the families take a toll.
Yeah,
My husband and I married 28 years this October.
Okay.
And it's been, since I was 41, 5 years now, going on 6 since my brain surgeries, that it's changed our life. And I know that it's changed others. And they come and become caregivers to them.
Yes.
And they don't have an outlet source. And with me providing what I can provide for them will help.
No, that's good. And then what's your work background? Because you're actually very well spoken. And people are like, oh, you're an MD. So what is your work background? I think it's good for people to see this of how, and even last week we talked to someone who their background's not medicine. And so it's interesting when you're going through something how quickly stuff can be departed to you and you become a great advocate for others because you're relatable.
Yes.
People can show me stuff on paper all day long, but unless that person's walked through it, that's theoretical.
Right.
This is real.
Right.
It's a difference. So what is your background work-wise?
I have been in the medical field for 24 years. Before I stopped working 2 years ago. And I started off as a medical records clerk in a hospital, copying medical records, worked my way up to reception, and then worked my way for the last 10 years in medical billing.
It's in the industry.
Yes.
What do you hope to achieve with the Chiari Neurological Project? What are some of your goals? I know we talked about, because you already do support groups, and it's interesting because you being in this scene, you kind of see what's lacking. And it's not, you're not putting anyone down, but it's like, this is what I can add to it. So what are some of the things that you hope to kind of add?
I want to add awareness. I know that there's other groups out there that have the awareness, and be able to have patients to be able to talk to their doctors like I do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are afraid to go in there and talk to their doctors and say, no, I don't want this, no, I don't want that, no, I need you to listen to me because you're not in my body. So I want to bring that awareness out, and I just want to be there for people because it's a very difficult, any kind of disorder you come into, whether it be cancer, epilepsy, anything. I want to be able to be there to offer.
And you do some speaking. Now, how can people get a hold of you? If you want to get, probably email if people would be calling you. But
They can email me at the Chiari Neurological Project at gmail.com, or they can call me as of right now, 702-285-3049.
As you see about your phone number. We're
I
going to do it anyway. You can also contact us at Cat Foundation at Yahoo, because obviously this is a project being offered because we're a 501c3.
Right.
And to get this information out to the general public, I've always found that if it's someone who's going through it, that's who you need to speak with. You know,
Right.
everything else, it's like, well, I want to talk to this person. They want to understand. They want to sympathize. You can empathize.
Right.
It's amazing when we walk through something, we're better able to explain it.
Right.
It's hard to speak about things we haven't gone through because we're more or less an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
When you've gone through something, you go, oh no.
Right.
You're not going to shake my face. Listen, I go through this every day. This is what's going on. I bet in your testimony really will change lives. I saw that some of you that you've spoken with, it's an eye-opener because you're so positive. And people are always like, how are you getting through this? And you tell me, like, look, it's Jesus. I'm telling you the truth. You can have this too, but also to have someone to relate to.
Right.
And to feel comfortable with speaking with. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yep. I have people calling me, friends that live in Texas, that are calling me and asking me to talk to a person that they talk to because they come in and say, oh, I have Chiari and I don't know how to deal with this. I can't get the treatment out here. And they're like, oh, well, I know my girlfriend that has Chiari. You need to call her.
How many people do you think you've spoken with to this one? Estimate.
Probably over 100.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's interesting, like I said, from going through it, that is your experience.
Yeah.
That is your experience. A lot of stuff that we're taught, we find it really quickly we don't know anything.
Right.
And then we go through like, oh, that proves how much we don't know. But I appreciate you coming by the show today. I believe, as always, with a little bit of scripture, I have to do this. You know some scripture. Let's see. John 12:35. Then Jesus said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness know not whither he go. While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of light. And I think it's a beautiful scripture to show that as you have these gifts to share with others, share them with others, because really, like I said, darkness can't overcome the light.
No. And can I mention one last thing?
Of course you can.
My verse that I go by every day is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, Philippians 4:13. I stand by that verse every day.
I love it how you came prepared, so she has it memorized. There's one other thing I meant to mention. Last week we had on Ava, the owner of the Salt Room. Now, you've actually done this treatment.
Yes.
What can you say about going into the Salt Cave? This is how perfect is that works out. Now, you've been to the Salt Cave a few times, even part of us speaking about it. What did you notice from going through that?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I can feel a difference in my joints. I can feel a difference in my lungs. I have chronic sinus problems from Chiari. I can totally feel the difference. It's a great place to go, a great place to get your zen, just to relax and let everything take over and go away at the same time.
And normally we don't do shout outs for businesses, but this was just too perfect, because it was funny when we talked about that, your experience in the Salt Cave and how that bronchial dilation helps, because a lot of different disorders will affect different parts of the body.
Yes.
This is a unit, not a mechanism. And so, complementary treatments that we can do, whether it be alternative like cannabis oil or something like bronchial dilation, and these things are non-invasive. And we're talking about sitting in a salt room for a small amount of time, and then you feel good after one treatment.
Yep.
Well, thank you again for coming by today.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
And until next time, we'll see you on Hope and the Truth. I'm Lance Parham.